As you can see, it's still raining and the ground at the Shahid Vijay Singh Pathik Stadium is still covered. There is a lot of water on the ground which has been left uncovered. The ground staff is removing the covers and the match has been called off without even toss taking place. So the test match between Afghanistan and New Zealand, the one and only test match between the two countries at the Greater Noida Stadium, has finally been called off after 5 days of no play. This is the first test match in this century that has been called off without even the toss taking place. New Zealand 26 years ago were the victim of yet another test which was called off. This was the last test which was called off without a ball being bowled and was scheduled to take place between India and New Zealand in 1998 at Carisbrooke in Dunedin. This was almost 26 years ago. Now, the Afghanistan-New Zealand test match, which was scheduled to begin on September 9th, could not take place on the first 2 days due to wet outfield and poor ground conditions. There was a lot of water on the ground and huge patches which could have injured the players during the play. The next 3 days were rained out due to heavy rains lashing this part of the country in heavy monsoon. Finally, after 5 days, the match has been called off and both teams will now return empty-handed. The timing of the match and the choice of the stadium also puts a question mark on how this was arrived at. This stadium, the Vijay Singh Pathik Stadium, is not known to have great facilities. In fact, it has almost non-existent facilities. There is no ground drainage and water accumulates very easily. This ground has never seen an international match taking place, and in fact the BCCI had warned it several years ago for hosting corporate matches where match fixing used to take place. So the choice of ground was always baffling. But according to the Afghanistan Cricket Board, which was the host for this match, this ground was chosen as it was near New Delhi and it was logistically easier for them to get their players and host a match here. But the BCCI had given them other choices too. Yet ACB decided to go for this ground. From the very first day, it was clear that this ground was not fit to host a test match. As you can see, the ground staff are removing the covers. Lot of rainwater has accumulated on them and it is still raining. In a few minutes from now, the press conference will be held by the two teams and then the two teams will meet each other along with the trophy. Let's hope that such a scenario is never repeated yet again, where even the toss is not possible. As you can see, when the ground staff has removed the cover from one end, there's still huge patch of muddy water and soggy outfield. This was the patch that was being used, that was being dried using a table fan on day 2. It was a hilarious sight. Never has one seen such a sight when a table fan was being used to dry the ground. You can still see large puddles of water around the ground. It has been disappointing for the two teams, but finally their agonizing wait has come to an end.